intro music. Yeah! Woohoo!
All right, Star Trek Fleet Command fans, we're going to talk about the GS31 right here as a new interceptor coming into the game to specifically help you with solo elite waves. Now, many of you have already talked about it being a one-trick pony. I'll go ahead and warn you, that's not the case. And that doesn't necessarily mean on the flip side that it's a great ship either. Let me explain what it does, what you're getting, and what it looks like. So the positive number one, before we jump into it, is that it has a free-to-play path day one located in your Section 31 faction store. Will take 100 days to acquire it if you're double pulling the chest, or 200 if you're single pulling. And now you have this neat little button here with the graphics already installed, so equipped with Apex Shred, increased damage versus Apex Raiders, and the devastating Gravitational Blast active ability, the GS31 is the ultimate Apex Barrier hostile killer, providing a significant advantage in solo wave defense. Now, this is a cool new thing where they show you some of the things that it does, but we're also going to take a look at it here in game. Let's go over the basics. So, once you unlock the ship, there's obviously the beam itself. We'll cover that here in a moment, how to use it. And then crewing is not going to be too terribly different than what you're already doing with your solo waves. If you remember, we have a spreadsheet that we launched with Section 31 that covers a lot of great recommendations from my own to other awesome community leaders who do a lot of work to show that in, whether you're at level 50 or 60, 45, wherever, how you can have success with various crews. And again, you can see some of those options here on the screen. And now I've used things like Anorax, and you actually can see a variation of the crew that I have right here in that same spreadsheet. Check it out if you're looking for some crews. That also is going to cover some of the upgrade costs. Now, I do want to warn you, we don't have all the data at the time of making this video. We do have most of the data that you're going to want or be pertinent to you. So let's head over to the refinery, because this is the big place where many of you are looking for, those ship parts and things like that. Well, number one, what you want to do is you have to get this turned in to get more parts to upgrade the ship, and that is the GS31 Strongbox. Now, how do you get the materials for that? By completing solo elite waves. Now, a little tip, trick, etc. for you if you're out there wanting to do better, want to get more of that currency. If you are, for example, level 60, if you can't beat the G6 elites, then go do the G5 elites, because the key is the payouts. And what I want you to see here on screen is how the payouts are pretty consistent across the board just based on what you're doing. So if I did a G5 elite, I'm going to get 4,500 of the recon currency, even if I'm a higher level player, allowing me to have those pulls ready for the chest right here. Now, granted, you're going to get less of the other currencies, and it also won't help you for events, because as a higher level player, you'll be expected to do the higher level events. But if you're not able to take those on just quite yet, don't worry. That's what these type of tricks are for. Now let's talk about the actual loot that you're getting from here in the refinery. And the big one is the guaranteed ship parts. Now, again, we don't have all that information just quite tracked. However, what we do have, we'll share on the screen, and I'll show you what I have as well. So right now we're taking a look, as you can see, that we have guaranteed starting at tier 1, 90, 4-star parts, and then you'll get to eventually 25 6-star parts if you're level 61 and above. These parts are tied between both your operations level and the tier of the GS31 ship. But the good news is it's all guaranteed. It's not RNG, rolling your D20 and finding out you just got screwed. So I take that as a positive to have guaranteed numbers. I think many of you are going to like that as well. So again, you talk about me having a tier 1 one. Let's just pop into Explorers, for example. Guaranteed 650 there, 90 rare. And even if this is a lower amount, again, tier 1, think of it from those players that we talk about needing to start that ISS jelly farm, and how important that video is, and how important that path is, especially for free to play and light spenders. That will add up over time. And again, these numbers increase as you level up, both as an ops level and as a tier level. And then if you're wanting, more of those parts for a Hector or a Tribune in the future, so that you can then scrap those, well, that's where these are going to come in handy as well. But now that we've taken a look at the refinery, let's take a look at the research for this ship, because it has a few unique ones. And again, I said this is not a one-trick pony. I want to point out why, and all that's going to be really behind this right here. So we have a new set of research at the end of the Starship's tree. What you're going to find is first the subspace authorization, which is a warp range booster, which opens up the other thread. Now, real quick pro tip, there is a mission set that'll actually pay you out some of this currency on day one for both upgrading the ship and getting the researches done. And we've got that on screen. So make sure you go and do that. Pick it up in your holodeck. That way you can get a little bit of an extra head start. Or if you are watching this, unlocking the video or unlocking the ship free to play, down the road, you're still going to want that mission to get those freebies in or have maybe already completed it so that you can get a head start. So what I would recommend after you get that one unlocked, you're going to move up here to the gravitational blast field. This is going to increase the amount of strength and the amount of damage that the gravitational ability actually deals when facing hostiles. Now, you also have this one right to the left, which I also like, which is going to increase the number of shots. So let's say there's 3 hostiles, you want to hit 4, 5, you're going to need to upgrade this to do that. But I would say first, you need to have a powerful blast. And then you have a lot of other things here. This is where we're getting away from that one-trick pony idea, because I think this is going to be very, very eventful, very impactful in PvP arenas. So you have the gravitational blast PvE. Now look over here. Base damage against players. Okay, but what about this? Apex shred when players are weakened. So remember, if we hit the player with this, it applies a weakened state. Come down here, we have increases critical hit chance against players weakened by the blast, and then increases critical hit damage, and then increases apex barrier. So a lot of things that are going to help as a support ship. Normally we have people using Cerritos and Mantis, but now this is adding another support ship and another dynamic to the PvP arena element, if that's something that interests you. But if it's not, or we have plenty of things here for the solos. How about we actually go look at those solos? All right, so I've jumped into a G4 Elite to kind of show you how this works. Don't expect this to be amazing, but here is the beam. So when you target a hostile, you're going to click this. As you remember, I have a couple of those researches done, and what that's going to do is allow it to attack all 3 at once. Now, how well it does depends on how much of the research you've completed. As you can see, with it being tier 1, level 1, not able to really do much damage there against that weakened hostile. However, down the road, as you upgrade it, it will do more and do better damage. But I want to show you an example of activating it. For those curious how much damage the beam will do natively, again, tier 1's not going to be much. You can find that information here. Where as you tiered up, you see how much it grows. Again, why we focus on that power bonus in that research tree, because it does not have a lot early on, needing many tiers to get quite strong. Eventually, at tier 15, hitting 16 billion. But it will come in handy as you get tiered up, and you'll find it as it's appropriately tiered with your level, you'll be able to take on the elites. Just need a little bit of work at it. That's okay. Nothing wrong with a little loot that takes a little time, right? Right. So last but certainly not least, let's talk about upgrade costs. What does this thing cost to upgrade, and how does that compare? Well, here's the overall total cost for this. Keep in mind that we use base costs. I want to, imply all your other things and bonuses that you have that add to it. Overall, it's not a one-trick pony, but it's also not something that's going to come in and dominate the field. It is something that for you to dominate in the elite solos, you're going to want to invest in it. So keep that in mind. The bonus of getting it early is always saving you the 3 months free-to-play path. However, I love that it has a 3-month free-to-play path day 1. So glad that that has become a consistent part of the game. Now, if you enjoyed this video and it helped you out, make sure you smash the like button. Live long and plunder. Stay safe with their Space Cowboys. Deuces, that's me. Let me know if there's any questions you have or anything else that you'd like to know about the GS31, and we will, of course, provide it to you. Love you. See you on the next one. Thank you, as always, for supporting me and my family.
I would like to request to Scopely to add more Klingons to the game. That is what I was told to do. And so I am doing it, which, is not maybe the best thing as a leader to just do what you're told, but it seems like a good request to make to add more Klingons. Everything is better with Klingons, am I right? I am right, because I'm a Klingon. Klingon mach tach judge! We are Klingons, let it remain. All right, Laurel's on a roll today. She's very excited.